in the decision-making of the teams, it's over. Once you let them do their job the way they want to do it, they will find the solution. And that's the whole point here. They will find a solution, and should find a solution, how a team works, and if a team works.
Schulze's faith in the management at Tyson's Corner paid off. On their own, they recognized their mistakes and decided to start over.
I think we're learning plenty. One of the things that we did wrong here was the way we introduced the whole concept. When you introduce a basic cultural change, you can be sure that you are pushing people outside of their comfort zone. And an organization needs to allow people the time to get comfortable with it conceptually.
The traditional tasks that a manager would normally do, we've empowered and involved the team members to do.
Today at Tyson's Corner, they introduce the team concept carefully. Teams demand new dynamic ways of working with increased responsibilities.
If you're going to empower and involve, if you're going to take employees and have them charged with the tasks, if you will, that a manager would do, then we need to make certain that we educate them. Many of you that are going to be on board as far as the rooms team is concerned are going to be able to experiment in that. It's uncharted waters, gang. We learn by trial and error. We're really writing the book.
As a concierge trainee, Shane Hobdy has to learn how to be a team member.
The way that the team is structured is that we all have an equal say in everything.
And as a concierge trainer, it's Christina Schrammel's job to introduce Hobdy to the goals of the concierge team.
First and foremost, we wanted to be the best concierge team in the company, and we saw that as an attainable goal. And there are constantly new goals coming up for the team, providing better fax delivery service, better limo service, creating a quicker turnaround time on guest requests, and the never-ending challenge of never saying no.
Good afternoon, Concierge Shane speaking. I think the nicest thing is that it's already defined and they've made it easier for me to understand how it works. And if I need to ask a question, I know that I can go to another team member as opposed to trying to figure out which manager do I ask for this question and what if I ask the wrong manager the wrong question. Now I know I just go right to my team member and I get most of the answers that way.
The concierge team meets regularly to define team goals and decide how to accomplish them. And the team is small enough for people to work well together.
In the interest of ongoing training, we need to remember that when it comes to the log sheets and putting log information in, we need to keep all of the mail that we get from the vendors and such in on the left side of the log and all the guest requests on the right. So we need to keep that in mind.
When we first went into team management and things weren't working, I think most of the goals were very self-serving. I think that we had goals as people, but not as one entity, not as one team. And I came to a big understanding about halfway down the road, realizing that our self-serving goals weren't taking us anywhere, that if we combined our goals, we would end up getting where we wanted to go as individuals, and we would be able to bring the team there as well.
To be honest, we're doing well, but we're not the best. We're not the best at this point in time. Teams are not a panacea. When you do things differently, you are confronted with a host of new challenges that a traditional approach doesn't present. And when you're experimenting with new ways of doing things, there are some instances in which you're going to take a couple of steps backwards before you can take 4 or 5 forwards. And we are in the initial stages of implementing teams. And therefore, you won't find that we have turbocharged our results for any of our constituents far beyond other Ritz-Carltons. But stay tuned.
The concierge team has made the most progress of all the Tyson's Corner teams. It is totally self-managed. The front desk team is following closely behind. Now, management has turned its attention toward working with the housekeeping and the laundry departments, where team building is at the earliest stages.
We have to respect the employee as a total part of the organization, their mind, their opinions, and the team concept respects that. In my heart, it's totally clear to me, there's no more doubt that this is the future, that we will be in a very few years, that we will have this approach in all hotels throughout, not only in the United States, in all hotels, because it is so clear that a team approach is successful.
Thank you. We look forward to seeing you again soon at the Ritz-Carlton.
Ritz management called people together to announce that they were going to be in teams. On its face, that's fine, but they didn't answer the essential question. Why were they going to be in teams?
Teams are very hard work, and it takes time even for one team to come into play. So if you go in with a notion that you can create them overnight, you're bound to be disappointed. The teams everywhere notion produces teams that are too large, produces teams that don't get the objectives right, produces teams that don't understand what accountability is all about. And pretty soon, people are in groups and not seeing anything come out of it that makes sense to them. So it can be a very discouraging experience if you go after it too fast and everywhere all at once.
Horst Schulte clearly believed himself that teams were critical to the hotel succeeding today and in the future. What I was very impressed with was that he stuck by his guns, even when the teams were floundering around, unsure of themselves, and probably not having a lot of fun or necessarily performing all that well. He stuck by his guns. He didn't intrude upon them. He let them